Hi, this is David Bertrand with DFW Tri Club and Director of the Sport Performance Leadership Department at SMU. This is video 2 of questions for those taking on the 5K program. Just some really great questions that participants in a 5K running group and walking, jogging group have asked of me, and so I'm answering them here on the video. So for everyone's edification and learning. So let's jump right into the next set of questions. The first topic for this video is going to be nutrition and the timing of nutrition in the workouts, but also like general nutrition. So the question is, I have an 11-month-old and I work full time. I'm in charge of meal planning for my family, and it can be a bit overwhelming. What are some foods that are good, healthy foods to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I obviously want to fuel my running and drop about 10 pounds from baby weight. So lose weight. Welcome to the number one reason people engage with health and fitness. Yeah, we want to look good. It's okay. So before I answer your question about some good healthy foods to have, I think it might be easier to tackle this from the standpoint of, what are some things that you want to avoid, and then I can talk to you, give you some ideas about, things I eat or things that I try to strive for. But just, because we could do a whole video on the topic of food and nutrition, just to keep it simple, you want to stay away from things that might be processed. Okay, so good, hearty, healthy foods, like real food, is what you want to aim for. So, I'm talking about like, really focus on fruits and vegetables. That's a great way to think about, well, what does he mean by real, hearty, healthy foods? Fruits and vegetables. Something else to keep in mind would be to, and this is the saying that I use, is fear sugar. I do processed sugar. I fear it, okay, because it's in everything, and there's so much of it that if you just take on that mindset of, all right, I want to stay away from refined sugars, I want to stay away from processed foods, what does that leave me with? It's an interesting inquiry to jump into. So, so with that, maybe you can now go to Google and just Google it, like healthy foods to eat for breakfast. Okay, and you'll get a whole slew of them. Just to give you some examples, I typically love. We have this Bulgarian yogurt that I'll put with fruit in it. So yogurt and fruit. I also like eggs. I eat eggs a lot. I put avocado on them. I try and I cook them in coconut oil. On the pan. So there's another example for you. So you'll find the ones that work for you. Oatmeal. Okay. I love oatmeal, not like a processed oatmeal, but like a real, like a steel cut oatmeal, with fruit. I think that's another great alternative. So, for lunch today, I had a chicken avocado wrap. So something that's light. I have a piece of fruit for snack. I also had some steamed broccoli. I'm always trying to work in the vegetables. For dinner, I'll have some sort of light protein fish or chicken, and I'll make sure I have some more vegetables with that. So drinking water a lot throughout the day. So there are a lot of different ways to take on some good meals, and certainly start to Google those so you can see what are some people eating and drinking. And certainly there's some blogs out there that can help you as well. Even some blogs of DFW Tri Club coaches that I'm sure you can look at. So one thing I will tell you is, a lot of folks start to think about, well, what should I eat? And this is an effortful process. It takes time and effort to plan meals, to think about how I'm going to start changing my behaviors around what I buy, and how is it going to satisfy my family, because I think this same person mentioned, like, well, I want to eat healthy, but, like my husband still needs to, I still got to get that guy full, and my kids still got to eat it. So it's not easy. It takes effort, it takes time, but it's worth it, because I'm sure you've heard this, you are what you eat. You're going to look like a lot of the foods, but if you can stay away from processed and refined sugars, and stay away from, things that are, have you ever heard the grocery store analogy where it says, shop the outsides of the grocery store, because that's usually where the fresh foods are. Okay, and stay away from the aisles in the middle, everything that's processed and put in a box. Do I do that 100%? Absolutely not. It's very, very difficult, but I know it, and it's a pattern that I keep coming back to, so I can strive to do the best that I can. Okay, something to think about when you're taking on nutrition is I've gone all the way to one side and just, eating clean 365 days a year. It's very hard to do. So I think I've seen people stay on the program longer and not kind of like just jump off the bandwagon 100% when they give themselves their, cheat meals. So, you take the effort for 5, 6 days a week, and then you give yourself a day where you're going to eat out. You're going to order the pizza in for the Cowboys game tomorrow and things like that. It's okay. It's not like, oh, I had the pizza and I'm off the program now. No, I mean, I think that could be a healthy approach to give yourself some wins for, really having some success for the most part. So, okay. Next question. I have time to work out on my lunch hour. What do you suggest I eat before noon, then after my workout around 1:30 so I don't crash? Love this. She's already thinking ahead to, all right, so if I'm going to do it at lunch, how can I plan ahead? This is a great question because you're not going to be at the effect of your circumstances once you try that first workout in the middle of the day. Okay. So here's what you want to remember is that the number of calories that you eat before that workout in the morning, that's important. I don't know how much you normally eat for breakfast, but you might want to start increasing the number of calories because now you're going to ask your body to do some work and you want to be able to finish that work. So if I think about, say, 1,500 calories that you're going to eat throughout the day, and I just randomly made up that number, if you're used to only having 200 or 300 before lunch, that's going to need to change. Okay, so you're going to have to start planning ahead. All right, so how am I going to get an extra 100 calories for breakfast? And then what am I going to eat at 10 a.m.? Thinking ahead for wanting to have good performance at lunch. So the timing of your calories is also going to be important, where you're going to have a snack around 10 or 11, an apple, a banana, some sort of, maybe oatmeal bar, something that's, so you're not just starving before you start the workout. Okay. So something that I like is I like almond butter and a banana. The almond butter part helps me feel a little more full, and the banana is great for energy. So that's probably an example of something that I would take, right before the workout. And that's on top of my breakfast that I had in the morning. Okay. Now, after you do your workout, you shower, you come back to desk or whatever you do, then that's the time for the rest of your lunch. Okay. So she ate enough to get through the workout, and you're going to have to tweak it. You may not hit this the first time, especially on the day where you decide to do intervals, or it's a harder run or whatever it is. Like you might, so give yourself some grace around it to be like, all right, I'll miss that one, and I'm going to need to eat a little bit more. And nobody hits this perfect. Okay. So, have a plan. I'm going to have the snacks. I'm going to try to eat, more calories before my workout so that I'm not trying to play catch up. Because when you're playing catch up, you and I both know, okay, you're going to end up eating more, and you're going to start just eating whatever's at the office, and it doesn't matter because you're so hungry. So kudos to you for kind of thinking ahead about that so that you can take it on. Something else, I know we've covered nutrition so far in this video, but something else to think about would be, looking at a nutrition. I mean, there's nutritionists out there that they do meal planning for you. That is their job. They give you the grocery list. They tell you what to buy, and they give you examples of meals to eat every day. I mean, it's a great service. I've known many, many athletes to benefit from that. And so certainly if you think that's something that might be of interest to you, then reach out to me. Let me know. I can find some nutritionists in your area that provide that service. It's a great service, and I think you could benefit from it. So the nutrition conversation kind of took up the bulk of video number 2. We'll jump into the rest of the topics on video number 3, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks. Happy training.